Now we're going to talk about an alternative way to retrofit over an existing standing seam roof, either low floating or high floating, using a two-piece system. That's going to be a 16 gauge Z-clip that will sit down in between the ribs of the panel and attach to the purlin with a 1.5 inch hat section mounted on top of it. So the advantages of this system are that it's going to cost a lot less than a notch purlin. And so everybody wants to figure out how to reduce the cost of a retrofit, owners and contractors alike. And this is one way to do it. Now, this system is best installed when you can space these Z's 4 feet apart. As long as your wind load is under 40 pounds per square foot in the field of the roof, which is the vast majority of the country, then you can use this two-piece system. If you're over 40 pounds per square foot, then you want to go with the roof hugger. If you're under 40 pounds per square foot in the field, then this may be a system for you. So in order to do this on top of a low floating system is a pretty straight proposition. You're going to use a hat support Z and then some standard purlin fasteners to go in to attach this thing. And you're going to attach this thing with either 2 or 3 fasteners depending on the wind pressures. If the wind pressures are like 26 pounds and under in the field, then you can attach this with 2 fasteners. If they're between 26 and 40, then you need to use 3 fasteners. And then it gets more complicated when you get into this high floating system. This high floating system, you're going to use a longer fastener, but fortunately it can be a threaded fastener. You don't have that offset, which these are a lot less expensive. And you're going to have to introduce a sleeve. So this sleeve is going to sit between the bottom of this hat support Z and the purlin, which means you're going to have to pre-drill a hole for this thing, which adds to the level of hassle, but it costs about half as much as a notch purlin, as a roof hugger for this type of panel. So you just got to weigh it out to see if it works for you or not. But I'll go through the quick demo on these things going together. So like I said, this one is pretty straightforward. You take your Z. We're going to go with 2 holes. We're going to use the two towards the outside in the middle. Okay. I said I've already pre-drilled these holes because I've already practiced this enough. Now you've got a nice rigid connection back to the purlin with this hat support Z, 16 gauge Z. These gussets stamped into that thing really help stiffen it up. Now with this setup over here, you're going to have to, the best way I found to do it is just take a marks a lot and set your Z where you want to set it, and then mark your holes with your marks a lot. And then once you get your holes marked, then you just take a drill about that size, 3/8 inch bit, and then drill through those 2 holes. Then once you get your holes set, then you just take the sleeves and drop them into the holes and set them on top of the purlin. Okay? Your sleeves go in, and then your hat support Z goes on top. There you go. Now your hats are set. your Z's are set, and then you come back with a hat section, and there you are. So nice about it, if you get these 4-foot on centers, that means that you're covering 8 feet at a time with either 2, 4, 6, 8 or 10 fasteners, which is, you know, this is a very economical system. And then once you get into the edge zone, where you're either gonna move these things to 2 foot on center, or we may be able to switch over to a roof hugger or a notched purlin if that makes it quicker and faster. Because the cost will probably be about the same when you start spacing these things together. As far as insulation, these types of systems are really not friendly for rigid insulation. So you can put anywhere from let's just say 5 to 6 inches of bad insulation in here without any problem. We can get this Z up to 4.5 inches tall, and so that'll give you a 6-inch space to the bottom of the roof panel, which is, you know, a lot of people, that'll give you R19 bad insulation. So that covers this type of system, and then we're going to show you one more where you infill with ISO.